Well, peace, friends. My name's Tom. I'm the pastor here at Sycamore Creek, and I am so glad that you have decided to join us on this MLK weekend for our production of Letter from Birmingham Jail. We're partnering this year with Hope Central Urban Arts to bring this children and youth version of a dramatic staged reading of Letter from Birmingham Jail. I first encountered Letter from Birmingham Jail when I was at seminary. I took a Martin Luther King Jr. preaching class. We weren't learning how to preach like Martin Luther. Of course, nobody can do that, but rather looking at the themes and the topics and so on. And when I first read that letter, I found myself too often in the seat of the person or the pastor, church leader that Dr. King was speaking to, and it kicked my butt, and it continued to do so. And over the last 3 years, we as a church have each year sat under the leadership of King as he sits in jail and writes this modern masterpiece, learning how to get off of the sidelines as a white pastor in a predominantly white church and get into the action of bringing equity and racial justice for all. Tonight I'm super excited to partner with Anna Maria and Hope Central, and you are going to encounter, of course, Dr. King writing in his jail cell. Over here, you're going to see some white clergy who King is responding to. I think they're having a committee meeting over here. You're going to encounter some community organizers. We're going to bring the letter into the present in the voice of a modern-day community organizer, a modern-day spoken word artist, a modern-day judge, and others. And then there's a couple of kids sitting down here in the front pew trying to make sense of the whole thing, kind of translating it to us and to each other. Now, the show tonight is free, although we would love for you to donate to Hope Central Urban Arts. This puts school arts in the schools when oftentimes in this sort of situation, the arts programs are being cut in the budgets. You can put cash or checks in those blue buckets that you see around, or their cash app you'll see is Hope Central Urban Arts, and you can give that way if you're watching online or if you're in the room and would prefer to give electronically. Well, friends, without further ado, here's Hope Central Urban Arts' version of Martin Luther King Jr.'s Letter from Birmingham Jail.
Salvation, whom shall I be? Whom shall I be afraid? The Lord is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I be afraid? I will wait on you. I will wait on you. I will trust in you. I will trust in you. The Lord is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I be afraid? The Lord is my light and salvation. afraid. I will wait on you. I will wait on you. I will trust in you. I will trust in you. I will remain confident in this. I will see the goodness of the Lord. I will remain confident in this. I will see the goodness of the Lord. The Lord is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I be afraid? The Lord is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I be afraid? I will wait on you. I will wait on you. I will trust in you. I will trust in you. I will remain confident in this. I will see the goodness of the Lord. I will remain confident in this. I will see the goodness of the Lord. We set our hope on you. We set our hope on your love. We set our hope on the one who is the everlasting God. You are the everlasting God. You are the everlasting. We set our hope on you. We set our hope on your love. We set our hope on your one who is the everlasting God. You are the everlasting God. You are the everlasting. We set our hope on you. We set our hope on your love. We set our hope on the one who is the everlasting God. You are the everlasting God. You are the everlasting. We set our hope on you. We set our hope on your love. We set our hope on the one who is the everlasting God. You are the everlasting God. You are the everlasting.
The clapping and singing is nice and all, but I'm really worried about what's going on. There's some serious things the church needs to talk about.
Well, I think the pastor attended to having Martin read his letter today.
August 1963. While locked here in Birmingham City Jail, I came across your recent statement called Our Present Activities, Unwise and Untimely. Seldom, if ever, do I pause to answer criticism of my work and ideas. But since I feel that you are men of genuine goodwill and your criticisms are sincere, I would like to answer your statement in what I hope will be patient and reasonable terms.
What reason does it give for being in Birmingham at all? We don't need outsiders coming in.
I have the honor of serving as president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, an organization operating in every southern state. Several months ago, our local office here in Birmingham invited us to be on a call to engage in a nonviolent protest if it was necessary. We agreed, and when the hour came, we lived up to our promises. So I am here along with several members of my staff because we were invited here. Beyond this, I am in Birmingham because injustice is here. Just as the 8th century prophets left their little villages and carried their "Thus saith the Lord" far beyond their hometowns, and just as the Apostle Paul left his village of Tarsus and carried the gospel of Jesus Christ to practically every neighborhood and city of the Greco-Roman world, I too am compelled to carry the gospel of freedom beyond my neighborhood. Like Paul, I must continuously respond to the Macedonian call for aid.
Oh, we are in church. Be quiet.
This choir song is good, but if you want me to stay awake, you better get to explaining.
Okay, Macedonia is a country, and Tarsus is a state. Just like America is a country, Alabama is a state where Martin's in jail.
Martin who?
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
You get to call him by his first name?
No, but I'm talking to you.
Well, put some respect to it.
Okay, Dr. King, that's him writing his letter to God. Just like he told Paul to help the Christians in Alabama understand why it's so important to work to spread the good news, so be quiet and listen.
Moreover, I am aware of the connection between all communities and states. I cannot sit by in Atlanta without being concerned about what happens in Birmingham. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are all caught in a net, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one affects all. We should not accuse the people who come into town to help of being troublemakers or outsiders. Anyone who lives inside the United States can never be considered an outsider.
But we hate these protests that are taking place in Birmingham.
I'm sorry that you didn't care to mention the conditions that made the demonstrations necessary. It is unfortunate that so-called demonstrations are taking place in Birmingham. But it is even more unfortunate that the white leaders of this city